afternoon. Governor Cuomo is at the Thruway Authority facility in Cheektowaga right now, giving the latest information about flood preparations. So we're going to let you listen in on what he has to say to reporters.
Creaks or you hear groans, please contact the authorities immediately and get out of the building. If there's a structural issue, if there's going to be a roof collapse, that happens. That doesn't normally happen in one fell swoop. You'll normally hear noises of the stress on the structure, and that's a warning sign that people should take very seriously. We are going to continue to monitor the creeks as we're doing now. We're going to continue to monitor possible flooding, buildings for structural integrity. But as of this moment, the situation is not as problematic as it could have been. But again, a question mark until we know fully what Mother Nature holds for us, and that'll be throughout the rest of today and tomorrow. We'll soon turn to the aftermath, and if there was a beginning, a middle, and an end to this situation that has seemingly gone on forever, the aftermath is going to be dealing with the financial ramifications of the flood and the damage. From a local town perspective, many of them spent their entire budget on snow removal in the past week, and the winter hasn't even really started. The county has expended millions of dollars. The city has expended millions of dollars. Same for the state. Many of the local governments that contributed. And one of the things we have to talk about is with the mayor and the county executive, how do we say thank you to all the people who came in here once the situation has really passed us by? Because chatting with the senators and the congressmen, you know, you had people come to help from Nassau County, Westchester County, Albany, Syracuse, Onondaga, Rochester. It was amazing, the number of governments that responded to Buffalo in a period of need. But the FEMA reimbursement is going to be paramount. And qualifying for the FEMA reimbursement is going to be the first order of business. So a full accounting by all those local governments, by all the governments that came in here, as well as individuals and companies in terms of damage. We have to hit the $27 million threshold to be considered by FEMA. That is in the law. That's nothing that the advocacy of the senator or the congressperson can do anything about. You have to meet the legal threshold. I believe we will if a thorough accounting is done. Once we meet that legal threshold, then we have to get the federal government to move with alacrity, speed, and expedition. You like those three words? Very good. Alacrity, speed, and expedition. And that's where our superb federal staff and team is going to come in, led by Senator Gillibrand and Senator Schumer and Congressman Higgins, and the entire congressional delegation can help us get FEMA here once we have the numbers done. We don't want FEMA here too early. We want to get our full accounting. But once we get the accounting done, we need the response of FEMA. We need it fast, and we need to get back our fair share for the damage. Senator Gillibrand and I have known each other a very long time. We had the good fortune to work together in Washington. I don't want to tell you how long because it will date both of us. But you couldn't have a better champion fighting for you than Senator Gillibrand. And it's my pleasure to announce her at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Gillibrand.
Well, I'm grateful to be here with the governor, our elected lieutenant governor, who's a dear friend of mine, served in Congress with me as well, and Congressman Higgins, our mayor, our county executive, our general from National Guard, thank you for being here, and all our other elected officials from state government. 3 quick points. Obviously, the snow has stopped falling. We have warming temperatures, which basically means that flooding is possible. So please pay attention to any travel restrictions that may be enacted if there is flooding in your community. Travel restrictions aren't just a matter of personal safety. They also need to be cleared so our first responders can move quickly. I also urge you to maintain accurate records of any loss that you have incurred. As the governor said, in order to get FEMA reimbursement, both for personal loss and business loss, we have to establish a certain level of damage. And the most accurate and best way to do that is for you to take photographs to document any losses you have, and that will allow the state and federal officials to be able to make a case to FEMA that not only has a disaster occurred, but we have incurred significant losses that require reimbursement. And last, as the governor said, I want to extend my gratitude to all of the people who helped and responded to this disaster. I know a lot of people volunteered for the Red Cross. They helped strangers get their cars out of snowbanks. They helped to shovel when it was needed. It really matters, and that's really who we are as New Yorkers. That sense of pride, that sense of can-do-ness, that sense of willingness to help someone you don't even know is what makes our state so great. I'm grateful for our governor's leadership, and I turn it over to our next speaker, who is Congressman Higgins.
Thank you, Senator, and Governor Cuomo, who's been at our side since the very beginning of this and has provided great resources, great leadership, and great reassurance that however difficult this storm is, we will overcome it. And we owe you a great debt of gratitude, Governor, for your friendship to this community and for your leadership. Kirsten Gillibrand, we will work together along with Senator Schumer to ensure that this is not the end of the storm, it just enters a different phase. So we will have to assure that all of the receipts are counted, all the expenses incurred are taken into account, and we will have to fight, again, on behalf of Buffalo and Western New York, and together we are prepared to do that. Mayor Byron Brown and County Executive Mark Poloncarz, again, you have masterfully orchestrated, I think, a recovery, a removal of the snow, which is fundamentally important to getting people back to a sense of normalcy. But finally, and foremost, to the people of Buffalo and Western New York, to the people of Buffalo and Western New York who have, again, demonstrated great toughness, great resilience, and great empathy for their neighbors. People helping others shovel out, dig out. We are in the neighborhoods, Tim Kennedy and I, over the last couple of days, and people just helping one another out. And it's a great demonstration of the character of the people of Buffalo and Western New York. So while some people say that the weather puts us in a negative light, the people within the context of the weather that we have to deal with, bring us to a higher place. So thank you very much.
Well said. Thank you. County Executive Mark Poloncarz.
Thank you, Governor. Once again, thank you for all the tremendous support you've had. Brought in thousands of individuals and thousands of pieces of assets to help make this cleanup go as fast as it did. As you know, the last state of emergency and driving ban was lifted in the city of Lackawanna yesterday, and there were many pieces of DOT equipment out there. So thank you very much. Senator, thank you for your concern in helping us get through this, what could be a financial disaster for some of these communities. I know the county is in a pretty good shape financially, so I like the position we're in, but talking to some of the supervisors, village mayors, and others, they were worried about their financial positions, so any assistance that the federal government can bring from FEMA will be greatly appreciated. I was on the ground in West Seneca, Lexington Green, and parts of the Cazenovia Creek and Buffalo Creek, checking it out this morning, and I really like where we are. The creek is moving very well. The sandbags that were put down and deployed by the National Guard with General Murphy in the back and his troops last night I don't even think are going to be needed, because it doesn't look like the creek is going to rise to a level where water will enter the neighborhood, and that's a wonderful sign after the floods that we had there in January as well as in March. So we're keeping an eye on it. We certainly have a wind warning that is in effect. There is possibilities of 60-mile-an-hour winds gust tonight, and we're worried about the condition of trees. With a waterlogged ground, wouldn't be surprising if trees blow over or branches topple down, which of course can take down power lines. We've had briefings with National Grid and NYSEG this morning at the Emergency Operations Center between county officials and state officials. I know NYSEG and National Grid have troops already on the ground themselves. They've got plenty of supplies that they brought in just in case there are major power outages. I hope we don't have any. I know everyone wants to get back to normalcy. We've got a Bills game tonight, not in Western New York, but in Detroit. I want to get back to normalcy. I've got a hockey practice with my Kaz Chiefs Bantam hockey team at Cazenovia at 7 o'clock tonight, and I want to see all those guys on the ice because I know most of them don't have class tonight, as well as Abigail Tisco, the only girl on our team. But we want to get back to normalcy, and I think we're going to get back there after today. So I appreciate everyone's support from the mayor, the congressman, the lieutenant governor-elect, the state officials, and of course our governor. We would not have been in this position we are today if it wasn't for the governor and the support he brought to the table, because it really made a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Well said.
Mayor Byron Brown.
Thank you very much, Governor. Well, the governor has literally been at our side every step of the way through this storm. This is the 6th consecutive day that the governor has been here with us throughout Buffalo and Western New York. I want to thank him for his great focus, support, and the tremendous resources and assets that he has brought in to help us deal with this storm and recover from the storm. I want to thank the entire congressional delegation, Senator Gillibrand, who is here today, Senator Schumer, who is here, certainly Congressman Higgins, for all of their outreach and for everything that they will do to assist us in trying to get the support from FEMA to pay for this very expensive storm. Also want to just recognize the state legislative delegation. Senator Kennedy is here, Assemblyman Ryan is here. They have been very helpful, very supportive, and our Lieutenant Governor, Kathy Hochul, who has been throughout the communities as well. Like the governor and county executive said, we feel very good about where we are with flooding. We have been out assessing flooding potential in the city of Buffalo. Right now, Cazenovia Creek is moving well. The Buffalo sewer systems are working as designed. And there has been virtually no flooding in the city of Buffalo, so we feel very good about that. We still have teams embedded with the city that the governor has been able to bring in from state agencies, from the National Guard. We also have 59 firefighters from the Yonkers Fire Department. I want to thank Mayor Mike Spano for that. Those firefighters are trained in structural assessment and water removal. We also have the Fire Department of New York Incident Management Team that is still embedded with us as well. Want to just thank the governor again for his tremendous partnership, the county executive for his great partnership. Been in touch with the governor and the county executive and with them every day, multiple times a day during the storm. But ultimately, we could not have gotten to this point of recovery where we are without all of the workers, not only locally, but from across the state, and the people of Buffalo and Western New York who have been so cooperative, neighbors looking out for neighbors, and really demonstrating why this is known as the city of good neighbors. Thank you, Governor.
Are we done?
Well said, Mayor. Senator Tim Kennedy.
Thank you, Governor. First of all, I want to thank the governor for his extraordinary leadership and commitment to our community. 6 days in a row that he's been here in Western New York, on the ground, working with leaders throughout Western New York to make sure that the proper resources are going into the areas that need it the most. I want to thank, especially today, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, who has continued to put a focus on our community and now is going to take this plight that we have from a financial recovery to Washington with our colleagues, Congressman Higgins, Senator Schumer. We, from a state perspective, have a full commitment to ensuring that we get the proper resources that we deserve after this catastrophic event. It's great to see our leader here, Kathy Hochul, Lieutenant Governor-elect. I cannot say enough about Mayor Byron Brown and County Executive Poloncarz, who have really demonstrated their leadership in the coordinated effort. I was stranded in my own home with my wife and 3 children for 4 days. We were the epicenter of the storm in South Buffalo. My district, Lackawanna, South Buffalo, into Cheektowaga, was the bullseye on the target of this storm, along with the areas in the south towns. So I saw firsthand our neighbors pulling together, first responders pulling together, first responders fighting through 5-6 feet of snow to carry individuals down Abbott Road on a gurney to Mercy Hospital, where the heroic efforts of the nurses and doctors and medical personnel were really saving lives. I can't say enough about our community pulling together, and when you see a catastrophic event like this of historic proportions, it brings out the best in Buffalo, Western New York, and it did just that. And with the collection of leaders here today that have this continued demonstration of leadership, focusing on Western New York and ensuring we get our deserved share from Washington and from Albany, I believe that will continue the momentum as we dig out. Thank you.
Well said. Assemblyman Sean Ryan.
Thank you, Governor. Well, I'll join the chorus of thank yous to the governor, to the mayor of the city of Buffalo.
So
to the
that
county
is Governor
executive.
Cuomo. Just